that he's shown over the course of the last year, in particular with Munster. So play that and play it hard. Good luck to him.
And from a Japanese point of view, you feel if they're going to have success today, they've got to get across the game line. And that man, Ben Gunter, alongside the number 8, Makisi, are going to be vital for that.
An Italian job today, Gianluca Gnecchi leading a trio of Italians in Matteo Lipperini, Andrea Piardi, Federico Verdelli, and the FPRO Eric Gozan. Well, the rugby gods are smiling upon the Aviva today.
Thank you very much.
Do they smile upon to open up our feast of Quilter Nations action? And goodness, waste no time in introducing himself to the Irish team. A bruising carry and an exit from the boot of Crowley, up and under. This is the aerial battle everyone's been talking about, and while Stockdale's there first, maybe there's a knock-on.
As we would have said, like back shoulder, just checking those players and just taking a little bit of the momentum out of the attack.
Well, the salvation of the touchline safely found by Crowley, but it's a far brighter start from Japan this week than it was against the Springboks. They'd been mauled into a concession within the opening few minutes. And now it's their chance to launch from a full line-out just on the doorstep of the Irish 22. Louis Viti, prominent in the exchanges so far. Makisi as well. Lawrence just sees the ball dislodged, but fortunately for Japan, backwards. Louis Viti again. delivering on what Eddie Jones has demanded of him. And Yazaki yet to play a professional club match. Shimokawa. It's muscular defence from Kelleher, and the rest of the rear guard attempt. Burns just tries to lurch through with that 6'6" frame. Saito just sees the ball slip through, and it's loose, and it's open, and it's in the grasp of Crowley.
Stop. Okay. Okay, play on. Hold in front. Inside.
A bit of hesitation for a moment, but a nice angle garnered. Osborne doesn't find the paint. Instead, he finds the counter-attacking ambition of Yoshita Yazaki.
They're on here if they can shift it wide. A couple of big forwards out wide.
Well, they've heard you, and Warner Durns is one of them. He sizes up Stockdale, slips through the right shoulder of the Ulsterman, and then McKeesey is back on that line against the grain. Lawrence to Kobayashi, who gets boomed. No one at home for Ireland here. It's Stockdale scampers across. And Crowley finds the touchline, but Saito links up with his half-back partner. And now it's the turn of Tomoki Asada. Oh, it's a gorgeous ball, drifted over the top, but just slid forward for Gianluca Gnecchi. Well, the Aviva was purring at that one.
Yeah, look, it's so far the Japanese have been a joy to watch. Again, we talk about that pass accuracy, their ambition to go, their willingness to play. It probably just drifted forward a little bit. But it's just brilliant, their breakdown work, because you can see Ireland trying to chase them down, but their efficiency there has been incredible. And when you watch them, as soon as they don't get the gain line, they just come back down the blind side, and it's almost like a reset for them to go again.
Plenty of play, but little penetration in an attacking sense from either side so far. Just the three from the boot of Jack Crowley to report.
Asada playing very deep here. A great opportunity for Tommy O'Brien if he moves from behind the scrum down his blind side. Asada cleverly has moved forward.
It was laborious ball for Casey. Almost the chance was gone. Once Japan identified the shifting Crowley and O'Brien, and it's messy in the contact area. Gunter first to pounce, and once again, Japan are flashing down the 15-metre channel. They've opened Ireland up, slipping inside. Such elusive feet from Asada, who drives into the 22. Tommy O'Brien has saved the day, because Asada's foxing feet had Ireland at 6s and 7s.
Use it!
Calm descends.
Onside chaser.
And Casey burrows the ball back. You are allowed to get your hand in there to aid it on its journey now. It's all to help the flow of the game. And speaking of flow, well, Japan are fluid right now. Oh, matadoring stuff from the Japanese attackers. Then it's McKeesey, bringing a bit of brutality. Japan starting the brighter. More cohesive. Charlie Lawrence gets caught low. That was a hit that needed to be made. But a neck roll denies Japan the opportunity to build further.
Oh, they're playing with a tempo at the moment that Ireland are really struggling to live with. And in fairness to them, they've defensively been able to scramble when they have been squeezed. They've got themselves back in the point. An improvement on last week.
Yeah, perfect.
Defensive numbers in this initial 13 or 14 minutes, but they have been squeezed with the pressure of the continuity of this Japanese team. Really, really good quality ball handling.
rejuvenation of the ball, and here's a little turnover, and the speed of these outside backs. But it's also the change of transfer of where the ball is, constantly move the ruck.
It's a really beautiful combination of some real physical carries from their forwards and some unbelievable footwork and acceleration from their back line.
Well, Rory, the line-out's gone awry again here, and it was a thorn in the Irish side in Chicago. They lost 5 of their 16. Much food for thought for Andy Farrell. Japan weren't much better, but it hasn't started so well for Ronan Kelleher here.
This feels like a not back in my day sort of moment. It wouldn't have happened.
I'm definitely not back in my day when the Japanese are here. We do not want to go back to 2019 if we can avoid it.
We weren't going to mention the trauma, Rory. We weren't going to mention.
But that was just looked like a little bit of a miscommunication. The first one was a bit of an overthrow. They just now got to get their composure, shorten the line out a little bit, go to a couple of their quick movement balls, maybe a throw jump. But this is where you need your leaders to stand up so they can get that. Just take a breath and understand that they've been all week at practicing as a unit and just go back to their basics.
Balance, please, again. Quick reset. Let's go.
Those stats say it all, don't they? Look at the number of carries, triple the number of carries. Likewise, meters made and broken tackles. They've been all about possession. They've kicked so little ball away. Conversely, Ireland have decided to go to the air and long a couple of times. Maybe they just need to hold on to a bit of possession, squeeze this Japanese defense.
Henshaw receives it direct from Casey. Farrell is upended awkwardly.
Lifts in tackle there. It's a PK there.
Forward pass
Or
called
at the scrum.
before the
So let's
tackle
the captain.
came in.
Okay, Kieran, you got 2 infringement. Lifting tackle there or the scrum. Okay, at the scrum. Scrum, lose head. Yes, on the 15, please.
It's a difficult one from Lawrence's point of view
Time off.
because the
Time
momentum,
off check.
Farrell naturally
Time
is
off
going
over,
over the top of
correct.
him. He doesn't help by finishing through on the tackle. If you listen to the referee speaking with the CMO.
Well, it wouldn't have helped that Charlie Lawrence is 5'6" as well. In terms of getting under amongst them, and there's no malice in there.
No, but in real time it looked a little bit. It did look like foul play. Now you look at slow down. Look, ultimately you can't take the legs up past horizontal. There's no malice in it, and Drick was right. You know, momentum kind of takes him that way. But ultimately, once you keep initiating that left pass.
Yeah, I'm on a yellow card on this, send it to the bunker. Correct? Okay, matter number 12, yes. Correct. Okay. Time back on. Okay, Warner, and number 12, please. Number 12. Number 12. Yeah, it's a lifting tackle. The player lands dangerously, meets the yellow card threshold, goes for off-field review.
I think that's a tough break, I really do. I think a penalty, could have sufficed there. As we mentioned, the momentum of Farrell, he's already pivoting forward, his head is dipping down, and naturally when the impact comes, the legs rise. Maybe he could have pulled out of the challenge a little bit. It's perceived as finishing him off and driving him into the ground, but a couple of factors were working against Lawrence there.
Well, Lawrence, a yellow card against Australia as well a fortnight ago. That's when they fell by just 4 points before heading over to Europe, and it's an emerging centre partnership, Lawrence and Riley. In 10 minutes they'll be denied in terms of forging better bonds. And Ireland have wasted no time in sending it to the touchline. A dummy throw from Kelleher, and well, that telepathy is completely absent right now.
Yeah, look at for Ronan Kelleher now, it's a very, very tricky place to be. You've lost your first 3 lineouts, and you can see the hesitancy. The Ryan Bird is kind of half moving. It's like we said earlier, this is where you just want a definite, let's go in quick, win the ball, and give Ronan Kelleher the best opportunity.
Do you go back, Bessie, to throwing to 2, guaranteeing possession if you're having difficulties early on like that?
I think the big problem is the way Japan are defending is they're moving up and down, and you can't take that very quick ball on that sort of 6-7 metres. You know, there's a good example. Let's just win the ball and play, and let's see what sort of phase play Ireland can put together.
Well, the Aviva begins to roar, and Stockdale gets his first carry of the game. Doris just absorbs a hit from multiple Japanese defenders. And now Henshaw goes as first receiver. Numbers queuing up out wide for Ireland. Byrne with the smart hands. O'Brien linking wide and then bouncing back in.
The advantage.
More fluid from Ireland. The hole opening up. A chasm, in fact. Ireland in behind and desperate defence from the Brave Blossoms. Casey looks wide. Doris to Crowley. Try time for Ireland. They've huffed and they've puffed, but at long last they click, and Crowley finishes the job.
Much better from Ireland, much better. Continuity, cohesion, good ball handling, multi-phase options. The deceptive runners looked as though they could have gotten every single one of those passes. Makes the defence stick on the inside, and then eventually an overlap. Coming from slick handling from Captain Caelan Doris to Jack Crowley, who adds himself as an additional man off his shoulder. Very, very good Ireland. Just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, and I think on that point, Rico, it's exactly what has always been missing a little bit from some of this Irish attack, is every single option. They could have hit anyone there. The forwards, even if it was going out the back, were still carrying hard to the line. Last minute out the back, or last minute tip or carry. It was brilliant to see.
No high degree of danger. Okay. Captain, we just said the recommendation from the bunker. The yellow card will remain a yellow card, no high degree of danger.
Warner Dern's informed that Charlie Lawrence will return in 6 minutes and a bit of change. Remains a yellow card, not upgraded to a 20-minute red, as seen with Tyke Byrne last week. Well, Japan have played all the rugby, but it's they who trail by a double-digit score, and a high hanger is watchfully claimed. And that try, it really feels like a settler for here in the Aviva. There was just an air of anxiety about the way things were unfolding.
Use it!
And even from the team's perspective, just reminding themselves of what good rugby players they are, and when they put the quality that they have talked about into from practice into match game day, it just inspires confidence, builds belief, particularly the knocking that it would have taken, how much their attack game struggled last week. All you need sometimes is to break the seal, and that was a great one to do that.
Here's the mark.
Yeah, sort of now at scrum time, Japan have sort of tightened it up a little bit. After the initial 1 or 2, there was penalty advantage on the previous one because it went down, but I think Ireland, 10 points ahead, they've got this man advantage. They're going to really want to now get a foothold in the game, and it can put some pressure on Japan.
Bind! Set!
Irish scrum in the ascendancy, but Saito whips it out, and Asada arrives from the left wing. Bit of footwork from Kobayashi, a hallmark of the Japanese game. Dexterous, mobile forwards. Aluaviti is a bit more of the battering ram type. Huge work rate, though, from the second row to this point. Shuhei Takayuchi, former back rower, gets buried in the middle. And they pick and go through the heart. Saito looking left. And it's not gone backwards, but it's in Irish arms, and Tommy O'Brien again dropping on the tumbling ball.
You just wonder, I know Ireland have the ball now, but when Japan have the ball with being a man down, whether they just maybe need to kick a little bit more to try to conserve that energy, just play field position and put the pressure on Ireland.
Osborne on Casey's wavelength, and Ireland into the Japanese half once more. Crowley, cross-field, height mismatch, Stockdale just misses out to Yoshitaka Miyazaki. And Byrne slips it out the back. Osborne rips one off the left hand. Tommy O'Brien, foot to the floor, but almost wrong foots himself. Porter, deft hands into Clarkson, but he sees it slip from his grip.
Now, inside, still advantage for the knock. Use.
Kenji Sato sets up the clearance.
And use it.
For Saito.
Advantage over.
And touch is found safely.
Yeah, very smart exit. Get the ball off the pitch, wind the clock down a little bit and keep trying to apply pressure on that Irish line out. Japan will be happy with those couple of defensive sets they've had.
Yeah, much better accuracy with the crossfield kick this week.
Seven called.
It was adjudicated that Stockdale didn't knock that one on. Japan scrambled well. Ireland just lacking a little bit of killer instinct down in the red zone, deep in Japanese territory.
First man. Yeah, not
well, the line out does ultimately end in Irish hands, and Henshaw takes it to the line. Osborne and Farrell, a hint of crossing. And the new combinations looking clunky once more.
Oh, that one is marginal. That is very, very unlucky. There's a very, very late change in play. It's Osborne comes short. I think it's committed from the
we have to ask the bench.
Defensive player. I think a lot of the time you will see that being given.
Let's go, guys.
The green light for the attack. The ball, he doesn't take the ball in behind the player, he takes it outside him, which is the important factor there. He doesn't run in behind the player that is the screen runner, he actually accepts it past him, which is within the legalities of the game.
Yoshida made quite a meal of it, which probably influenced the referee.
Well, Derns squabbling in the air with Ryan Baird, using every inch of his extensions to claim it cleanly for Japan. Off goes Takayuchi.
Rack is form, playing the ball
but illegally so.
Position. Offside the rack form.
Different variety of penalties starting to hurt Japan just as they get into good positions. It's 4-0 on that front. Referee saying that the ruck was formed. He wasn't entitled to play it with his hands. Again, I don't know what's wrong with that. Provided at least one foot is behind the ball,
I'm in charge of that, okay?
you're entitled to pick and jam that.
5 and jump into the line out, please don't wait outside.
If both feet were in front of it, he has to leave it as a ruck.
Yeah, it's very harsh. It's very harsh.
Well, Kelleher follows your advice, Brian. The banker ball at the front. And finally, Ireland get the opportunity to form a maul. Saito thrown over by Stockdale, but he drags down the Ulsterman in the process. Crowley urgently clapping his hands. Clarkson on the carry. Crowley. Ireland looking for that hole, but
advantage.
too tight for the hands, and Stockdale at pace. And again, Japan find themselves with a bit of turnover ball.
See? Inside at the moment, yeah. Still not an advantage, guys. Lost now, green. Advantage over, was inside.
O'Brien plucks it before it crosses the touchline.
Yeah,
And the Brave Blossom just invite another Irish attack, but once again, the ball carelessly presented. But another roll of the dice. Neither side truly cherishing possession. At this moment, Osborne almost slipping his way through. Ryan made his second Ireland appearance against Japan back in 2017. Many with formative memories against the Brave Blossoms in green. Now Farrell steps in. Henshaw just manipulates the defence and goes basketball style to O'Brien.
Ball's lifted.
Doris at pace, pumping the pistons, dragging Japanese men with him. Henshaw taken low. The Japanese defence is standing up well to the wave of Irish attacks coming their way. The second rows combined.
Ireland just splitting the resources a little bit, having half the team on one side of the field, half on the other. They need to just keep going the same direction. So they're going to get some mismatches. Nick Timoney, foot to the floor. He just loves to score in green.
Yeah, I think, look, what do they call it, a commentator's curse? You're sort of talking at it. It was really going nowhere. Nothing happened. A couple of mishandles. Next thing, the ball bounces. And Nick Timoney has an abundance of pace. Brilliant finish. I wouldn't say it was exactly tactically how they wanted to unlock Japan. But like I say, sometimes that bouncing ball does funny things, and then they play from it and Nick goes.
It's the thing about the bounce pass. Everyone switches off for a split second, but once it doesn't go forward, that's when you need to heighten your anticipation that danger may lie ahead. Timoney was sharp as attack there. He realized the opportunity when everyone just relaxed defensively. He switched on and got those pistons motoring, as you said, Joe.
Yeah, Dick, I think for me, I'd just like to see them play a little bit more in the front line. Ireland maybe try to dominate that gain line a little bit more. Almost a little bit the way Japan have been playing, you know, dominate the gain line with some big forward runners and then try to manipulate the space a little bit better. I think we seem to be going out the back a little bit early, but maybe that's just a front five's point of view.
Well, I mean, the architecture isn't going to make an end-of-season highlights reel. It'll get played at Christmas in the Timoney household, no doubt, but the setup more akin to what you might find on a Sunday morning watching your kids. I mean, Timoney's an interesting topic, though. That's his 5th try in 5 appearances for Ireland, so he always makes an impact, yet those have come across 4 years. Well, what does he have to do to get a run?
It's very tricky, because in those 4 years, Josh van der Fleer's probably been one of Ireland's foreign players. The problem with both of those is very hard to have them in both of them in your match day 23. They really, like Nick will play 6 and 8 for Ulster, but at international level, you feel he's an out-and-out 7, the same as Josh.
Quality on the ground,
but he has certainly been in fantastic form for Ulster over those 4 years as well.
Japan need a response. They've shone in glimpses, but they're yet to trouble the scoreboard, and Luaviti just stretches his legs, and the instinct to find McKessie was there.
Oh, that is so close. He didn't need to throw that incredibly loose offload. Another phase, they were in behind. They'd done the damage. And that's just such a loose one.
22, you said, Matteo?
McKessie, I think it is, on the inside. Sees the line beckoning, but actually one more phase, particularly the speed of the ruck ball that they're generating. They would have had Ireland in disarray.
Guys. Let's go, Ireland, please. Number 2.
There's no doubt about it that the introduction of Luaviti and the elevation of McKessie to the starting 15 has had a profound impact. They were bullied by the Springboks, weren't they? And they're doing everything that's been asked of them by Eddie out here.
They've been significant, haven't they? When you look at the diminutive size of a number of these backs in particular, you've got to have some punch up front, and they are bringing it in spades.
Bind! Set! Use it.
Highlands.
Was upside.
Swipe it clear. They swipe it clean out. An error from Osborne. And just another opportunity for Japan to maybe launch one before the half is done. Some sum up for Jamie Osborne as a late lines injury cover for Blair Kinghorn. Versatile, getting a bit of a run at full-back right now. Stationary, Charlie Lawrence not. Hard, direct. Bowls into the Irish defence, and there's a penalty for Japan to use as an insurance policy. Gunter. Oh, Farrell swallows Seung Sin Lee there. Big tackle from the Munsterman. And guess who? Aluaviti. Mountain of work. Now Japan have almost opened up Ireland again on that short side. They're getting some joy on those short tip passes. Flashed across the face. Lawrence drives ahead. Saito just puts a little too much fizz on it for Ben Gunter. And another opportunity spurned.
Massively important intervention from Robbie Henshaw here. It was a beautiful short line picked by Yoshida, and that's going to be a 5-pointer for sure if Robbie Henshaw doesn't scrag him. Not only does he make the initial tackle, gets up and back ends it as well, forces extra players to commit, slows the ruck ball down for another second, allows the reinforcements to get into the defensive line. Quality play from the Leinsterman.
Into the corner, the Brave Blossoms probe. Their best opportunity of the half, as close as they've been. And they find McKessie just about at the tail. And they've got some more advantage to work with. Irish indiscretions
on the arm
beginning to pile up as Warner turns, flashes forward.
Marcus here.
Another very good line-out drill from Japan.
Immediately if they want.
Obviously, their technical advisor, Victor Matfield, is doing some great work in there.
If you want to go straight to the line-out, if you want to kick it.
Yeah, we'll wonder now if they'll maybe look at a bit of a trick play, or whether they'll go straight for a maul.
That's Andre. Yeah.
Six to aim at, and Gunter offering the punch. Well formed, rocking and rolling round that left corner. All hands to the pump for the Irish forwards. As more Brave Blossoms pour forward irresistibly. We'll go to the TMO, but what's the question?
Time is off, guys.
Got the ball on the
ground, on the line.
On the line.
Yeah, we can award the tries. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, tries awarded. They deemed the ball to be on the line, therefore it's a try. I think if you look at this maul, they just get that back corner of Ireland. I think Ireland will be really disappointed as how they didn't stop that maul earlier. But what you're looking for as a defensive team, you're trying to pin the two corners so that the team can't move it either infield or towards the touchline. And Japan got to that back edge of Ireland, and once you get past that initial stop, it's very difficult to stop it legally. Caelan Doris did a good job to always stop it, and then that last bit of momentum. Quite hard to see who scored it.
It's great officiating. It's, you know, it's not leaning on the TMO, and I think it's Piardi is the one that came in as assistant referee. He was the one that said he saw it on the line. It's been inconclusive so far with the pictures, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he had the best vantage point.
Well, that's the thing right there. World Rugby are so eager for the decisions to be made by the men on the field, and Piardi's come in there with the big call, and just seeing there, it does look inconclusive. If it had gone upstairs, maybe it wouldn't have been a score. So the officiating team stepping up, and Japan very much on the board. And the Maud try burnished by the boot as well. Ireland 17,
All good.
Japan 7. Doris collects. Clarkson, Henshaw. Just renewed desire in the Japanese defensive line, and a loose ball is found by Crowley, but he's swung back into his own half.
Now ball is here, no impact.
Timoney, the try scorer.
And use it.
Just over a minute for Ireland to navigate. And this one's contestable, dinked up, O'Brien slaps back,
Knock-on
and
advantage.
well, not for the first time. Ireland's efforts to sweep up the crumbs have come from a fumble.
Advantage over.
Oh, stopped out, hits Ishida hard, and somehow the 5'5" winger bounces the 6'3" Ulsterman. Japan, a score now completely changes the complexion of the half-time huddles. Just smuggled to the edge. Oh, but the communication breaks down with Saito screaming through. Still there for Japan.
Advantage.
Derns in the midfield. Leaves Byrne for dead. And there's more advantage. Irish penalty stacking up. Gunter looking for the offload. But opts to hold. McKesey. More meters for the number 8.
Good. Go back for the offside. Yes. Okay, number 4. Never back on side.
That's
Number 4.
lovely. Slick handling once again. They get to the edge. Crowley gets sucked in. There's almost a little pass to himself in the end. Doesn't go to hand, but he's able to regather.
Time is off.
That would have been some score if they'd managed to connect. No panic. Ball went backwards and they go again. Yeah, just a number of penalties starting to accrue.
Okay. Mark is here. Time back on.
Just speed and accuracy of the Japanese attack is incredible. Whether it's in phase play, turnover ball, they're just, that pass accuracy is a joy to watch from this vantage point.
Okay.
Tomoki Osada looks the best winger in the world right now. He's nearly at 100 meters made, and
yes, Matteo.
We've got some intervention.
Green.
And it's the hit that we celebrated because of Ishida's ability to bounce out, but it, on reflection, looks reckless.
I don't know if there's a huge amount in that, is there?
Closer angle, please.
Where's the connection? Is it head on head?
If there is head contact.
Oh, it's a glancing blow.
That's the angle with the head contact. So
I think the mitigation is that very late change of direction. There's not huge force. Maybe a penalty will suffice here.
yeah. Please, guys, give us some space.
Yeah, I think Jacob's in a position to make a tackle. He's bent over.
Yes, Gianluca.
Okay, go back on me, please.
Yes.
It's got to be marginal, isn't it? at the discretion of the referee. You can see these just being penalties. I've seen them given as yellow cards as well.
Okay, Matteo, I have a decision. So we do have head contact. It is foul play. The player can be lower, so it meets the yellow card threshold. It goes for off-field review.
Correct.
Number 11. No, it's still too much.
Yeah, like you said, Brian, it can go either way there. For me, he's down, he's in a position to tackle, but ultimately it is head contact, so therefore they didn't deem there's enough
Japan,
mitigation to go from red to yellow to just penalty.
Staying here.
We were talking before the game, Brian, and you brought up the difficulty in tackling players who were slung lower to the ground.
But also the speed of the change of direction as well. That's so significant as well. Not only are you having to adjust your height, 6'3" man versus 5'5", but then you're talking about hundredths of a second decision to step off his right foot back inside. It's just so difficult to adjust.
Stockdale. As Japan split the uprights, and their two late scores mean it's game on heading into the second half. Crowley and Timoney have delivered the tries for Ireland. Both kickers impeccable from the tee. But the converted try from Japan and the late penalty means